So while we still have the same military government, the world is also watching. We have put ourselves out there to challenge the regime, knowing that the people will vote it out. But the question now is, will the world stand with Uganda, or will the world once again watch the democracy of Uganda continuously be eroded away? That is what we are asking the world. We are out to challenge the regime as a generation. You'll notice that Uganda is almost the youngest country in the world, but still suffocated under an old autocratic regime. So we are putting ourselves out there. The question is, will the world stand with Ugandan democracy?
How much of Uganda's problems can be solved as a result of international pressure? As you say, the Holocaust Memorial Museum in the U.S. has issued a warning of possible mass atrocities in the lead up to the next year's election, and you've criticized Western leaders that they're not speaking out enough on Uganda. How much of Uganda's problems can be solved from international pressure?
Well, so much of Uganda's problems can be solved by the international community, because largely most of Uganda's problems are enabled by the international community just by tolerating them. Uganda receives a huge amount of support from the international community. The question is, do they know what they are supporting? They are supporting criminality. As we speak right now, my personal bodyguard is being held by General Museveni's son, who is the commander of armed forces. By the virtue of him being son of the president and being in charge of the military, he can commit crimes. He tortured him and recorded him on video naked and shared his picture on social media, but the world is still silent about it. That is what we're fighting against. So if the international community disassociates with the criminality happening in Uganda and stops sponsoring our oppression, that will be the first step to our liberation.
What do we now know in terms of what happened to Edward Sebufu, your bodyguard?
Well, Edward Sebufu was abducted by the military here, some of them in uniform and some of them in plain clothes but wielding guns. He was missing for 5 days. The military and police denied having him. But in the middle of the night, General Museveni's son, who is the army commander of Uganda, came out and bragged about holding him under his basement and teaching him his tribal language, Runyankore. Up to now, the police has not said anything. They said after the general made a statement on Twitter, they cannot say anything. All the institutions are subdued, the parliament, the courts of law, and all other institutions of state. So right now, Eddie was taken secretly and dumped in a prison hospital. Not in a hospital, but in a prison sick bay. Right now, Eddie is in a prison sick bay with no justification whatsoever.
What are your plans or priorities in terms of, should you be in a position to govern Uganda, what would your action plans be?
The first thing would be stopping impunity and returning the rule of law, making everybody free before and under the law, where nobody will have to fear repercussions